Thanks for tuning in. This is day 3 of the One Best Trader competition. I had a pretty good day today. I was in the red yesterday and managed to stay in the green today. In fact, I was at 100% accuracy up until my last trade. But of course, I was watching the markets and was tempted to take one last trade, and it went against me and reduced my profits for the day by about 1/3. That's okay. It's early days, and I think I had a bad day yesterday, but I think I'm now back into the top 10. But I'm still in the red. Actually, that's okay. I have the rest of the week to climb myself out of this hole. So my first trade was on BTBT. I don't normally get into a trade in pre-market, but and this was a bit of a coin toss. But I decided to get in with not many shares at R3, my stop loss below these moving averages. And then when it opened up, it did trade down to these averages and started to pop back up. So a lot of volume coming in, the time and sales were moving. Decided to add to my position, and then as it popped up, I quickly scaled down. And then it sold off with this bearish candle, started to pop back up again, decided to go long for a break of high of the day. It did actually trade up here for about 30-40 seconds, and during that time I decided to move my stop, which was below VWAP, up to break even. Looked like it had the potential to go for it, but didn't, and I got stopped out. But that's okay. Nothing lost, nothing gained. I think that was my only trade on BT. Yeah, so my next trade was on Lucid. LCID. This was an R4 reversal. I did not have a great entry. I still decided to take it short with the stop loss above R4. It did move lower. As it did, I partialed out, and then partialed out a little too soon before reaching its previous day close and R2, which would have been a good area of support. And VPOC, we have volume price of control as well. It did dip below. This was my second trade, so that was to the short side. Then I took one trade to the long side. It seemed to hold this level, and so I thought it might trade back up to R4. So I went long here, and then it got close to R4, and as usual, I got a little impatient and decided just to get out altogether and just take profit and kind of make up for yesterday. So those were my only 2 trades on Lucid. And so my final trades were on Mara. I took a short position on Mara at around 12.18. It had failed to, I had marked off these levels. So this was the first high of the day, and then this was the current high of the day. These 2 levels here failed to break through, and it actually started to look like this was trading in a range. So I should have got in closer to the top part of the range, but went short here with my stop loss above this level, and then exited the position at the bottom of this kind of reasonably tight range. Held a little bit to see if it would break through. It didn't. Started to move back up, and so I took everything else off. And then sure enough, it went back to the top of this kind of range and then started moving back down again. So this afternoon it spent trading in this reasonably tight range. So I was looking, my final trade, I was looking initially for a breakout in one direction from this range. It looked like at around 2 o'clock, 2:05, it was going to break out. But was really struggling to kind of get through these levels. So then I decided to change my strategy and wait until it got up to R4, or if it did get up to R4, and then short it. But then I became impatient. I was looking at, from watching this, it really struggled to kind of get through these levels. So I'm like, actually, I don't think it has what it takes. I'm going to trade it, go short again to the downside, to the bottom of this range again and possibly lower, because it had touched these levels several times. But sure enough, it found enough volume to get up to R4. Thought about shorting it again, but decided not to, and that of course would have been the better trade. And now it's cascading down. So this is 39.77. Now it's down to, it's come down to 39.15. So yeah, that's frustrating. So this was my original trade plan, and I didn't stick to it. This would have been the more high probability trade. Decided to go short here, and I paid the price for it. This was definitely the better trade. So there you go. That's what happens when you don't stick to your trading plan and get impatient. Anyways, so thanks for tuning in. Traded better today than I did yesterday. Yeah, frustrated with this trade. But yeah, still up for the day. Think I'm back into the top 10. It's day 3, so lots of more days to go. All right, see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.